Mamu quickly for the win! Quick does it at the end!
The Toronto Raptors just stormed into Oklahoma City and straight up took down the best squad in the entire NBA. And don't even think it was luck, because it wasn't. Scottie Barnes came up huge, blocking Chet Holmgren with only 30 seconds left on the clock to seal the win. 6 different Raptors dropped 10 points or more, spreading the offense like pros. And their defense? Unbelievable. They locked down SGA so hard, he only managed 3 points in the whole fourth quarter. Remember, this is the same Raptors team that was a total mess last season, finishing 11th in the East with just 30 wins. Everyone wrote them off, saying they were done, irrelevant, washed. But look at them now. 3rd place in the Eastern Conference and out here beating elite teams on their home courts. That's a full-blown transformation. So what on earth happened in Toronto? That's exactly what we're diving into today. This isn't some random lucky streak or a temporary boost. No way. The Raptors have built something real, something solid. They've crafted a new identity that makes them one of the most dangerous teams in the East right now, and somehow nobody's really noticing. Here's the truth about today's NBA. It's all about buckets. Teams are obsessed with shooting threes, running the floor, and pushing the pace. It's become a scoring arms race. But Toronto looked at all that and said, forget that, we're flipping the script. They're ranked 4th in the entire league in defensive rating. 4th! In a time when everyone says defense is dead, the Raptors are out here proving the opposite. They're winning by making every possession feel like a fight. Opposing offenses can't breathe against them. And here's the wild part. They're doing all this while sitting 26th in three-point percentage. Most teams shooting that poorly from deep would be barely hanging on to a play-in spot. But Toronto, they're sitting comfortably at 3rd in the East. That tells you just how legit this defense really is. They're out here winning games without one of the key weapons in modern basketball, consistent shooting. The numbers don't even make sense, but somehow it works. All because their defensive identity is just that dominant. Head coach Darko Rajakovic has sparked something rare in today's NBA, a bold, European-style system built on early pressure and non-stop disruption. The Raptors don't just sit back and wait for your offense to develop. No way. They jump on you the second you touch the ball. They attack ball handlers before plays even take shape, turning every possession into pure chaos. You can't get comfortable for a single second. They force you to fight for every inch of the court. This kind of system only works if everyone buys in completely. You need insane effort and focus on every play. No slacking, no possessions off. And Toronto, they're all in. Every player is locked into this grinded-out, high-energy identity that's turning them into a defensive nightmare. On offense, it's just as impressive. The ball never sticks. Toronto ranks 5th in the entire league in assists per game, averaging 29.1. They don't have one player dribbling the air out of the ball for 15 seconds before tossing up a bad shot. Instead, they swing it, they cut, and they always find the open man. It's unselfish, smart basketball in a league obsessed with solo stars and isolation plays. The Raptors have clearly chosen team culture and chemistry over ego and flash. And guess what? It's paying off. Rajakovic already got a contract extension through 2027 because the front office fully believes in what he's building. The proof is right there on the court. The results speak loud and clear. That identity hit its peak during their biggest win of the season. Toronto rolled into Oklahoma City to face a Thunder squad sitting at 37-9, holding the best record in basketball. OKC hadn't dropped a home game to Toronto since 2022, and they were heavy favorites again. Everyone expected an easy win for the Thunder, but the Raptors flipped the script, stealing a 103-101 victory. It was a masterclass performance showing exactly who they've become. Let's talk about Emmanuel quickly. He was straight up on fire. He dropped 23 points, grabbed 11 rebounds, and nailed 6 of 10 from deep. The man came out scorching, hitting 9 points in his first 6 minutes on the floor. He was hunting shots from the jump, and OKC had absolutely no answer for him. When the game was hanging in the balance and Toronto desperately needed a bucket, Emmanuel quickly delivered like a straight killer. He drilled back-to-back threes from the exact same spot, giving the Raptors the lead with ice in his veins. Cold-blooded. That's the kind of fearless shot-making you need when playoff pressure hits. And he wasn't done. Quickly sealed the deal with 2 clutch free throws inside the final 10 seconds. Then there's Scottie Barnes. Don't let the stat sheet fool you. His line showed just 10 points on 3 for 8 shooting, which might look quiet, but the numbers don't tell the full story. Scottie was everywhere. He grabbed 11 rebounds, dropped 8 assists, and swatted 3 massive blocks. His fingerprints were all over the game, wrecking passing lanes and locking down the paint like a one-man security system. The biggest moment came with 30 seconds left, Toronto up by just 2. Chet Holmgren rose up for his go-to jumper, but Barnes had other plans. He came flying in, smacked the shot into the air, and grabbed the ball himself. Boom! Just like that, game practically over. That's impact beyond the stat sheet. That's superstar energy right there. But Scottie wasn't done showing heart. After Jamal Shead missed 2 free throws with only 13 seconds left, a moment that could have been a total disaster, Barnes made another huge play. He tipped the rebound out to a teammate, letting Toronto hang on to the ball and kill the clock. 2 clutch plays in the final 30 seconds. Those are winning plays, the kind that define a franchise guy when everything's on the line. Now let's talk about the real defensive story, the way they shut down Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Sure, the box score says he dropped 24 points on an efficient 8 for 11 shooting, but dig deeper, it's not what it looks like. Toronto had him locked up when it counted most. In the first half, SGA was limited to just 9 points on 2 for 5 shooting. He made some adjustments in the third and started heating up with 12 points, because let's be real, he is an MVP caliber player.
But when the fourth quarter came, the moment where stars are supposed to take over, Toronto turned the lights out on him. Shai managed only 3 points on a single shot attempt in the entire quarter. You heard that right, 1 shot. Rookie Jacoby Walter, a name most casual fans wouldn't even recognize, stayed glued to him on every single possession. He denied SGA touches, forced him off his spots, and made him fight for every inch of the floor. The Raptors threw double teams, switched relentlessly, and forced OKC's other guys to try and win it. And it didn't work. 6 different Raptors finished in double figures, and they racked up 10 steals as a team. That's defensive domination at its finest. Toronto didn't just beat OKC, they outworked and outsmarted them when it mattered most. As a team, the Raptors were locked in from the jump. They only turned the ball over twice in the entire first half. And guess what? Neither of those mistakes led to a single point for the Thunder. That's elite discipline and pure suffocation on defense. Against the best team in the league, Toronto didn't just show heart, they showed control. That right there is their identity. That's what makes this squad stand out from the rest. But don't get it twisted, it hasn't been some smooth, easy ride this season. The truth is, this 2025-26 Raptors journey has been one wild roller coaster. The highs have been sky high, but the lows, rough enough to shake everything they built. And what went down in December nearly blew the whole thing apart. Let's rewind to the beginning. Back in October, things were rough, like really rough. Toronto stumbled out of the gate with just 2 wins and 4 losses. The team chemistry was off, the rhythm wasn't there, and the system felt confusing for the new guys. Brandon Ingram was still trying to figure out Coach Roger Kovic's tricky European-style system, and it showed. The ball movement was slow, defensive rotations were late, and the energy felt off. There was no reason to panic yet, but there wasn't much to celebrate either. At that point, they were just a team searching for balance in a league that never slows down. But then came November, and everything flipped. Suddenly, the Raptors caught fire. They went 12-3 that month and started looking like one of the best teams in franchise history. A 9-game winning streak had everyone in the basketball world talking. Toronto wasn't sneaking up on anyone anymore, they were dominating. Scottie Barnes went absolutely nuclear. He was putting up wild stat lines night after night, stacking up triple-doubles and shattering team records like it was nothing. His all-around dominance had fans and analysts alike calling him an all-NBA-level superstar. Both ends of the court were clicking in sync. The offense flowed beautifully, while the defense stayed suffocating. Everything Coach Rajakovic had been drilling in practice finally came to life under the bright lights. Toronto looked like a serious playoff threat, a team built to cause chaos for anyone in their path. They were fast, fierce, and fearless. But just when everything seemed perfect, disaster struck. RJ Barrett went down with an injury, and suddenly the vibe shifted hard. December hit like a punch to the gut. It was an ugly stretch, man, and tough to watch. The momentum they built started slipping away, and the Raptors had to dig deep just to stay alive. The Raptors hit a serious wall once RJ Barrett went down. Without him, they went just 6-14, and it looked ugly out there. The offense completely lost its rhythm. It was like the team was stuck in quicksand. Suddenly, the drives to the basket dried up. They couldn't finish at the rim. They weren't drawing fouls, and every shot felt like a grind. When the game slowed down, Toronto had no spark, no flow, no easy buckets. That beautiful ball movement that made them look unstoppable back in November, gone. Everything became static and predictable. And the reason was crystal clear. They didn't have that second guy who could break down a defense one-on-one. RJ Barrett's injury exposed a massive hole in the roster. Without him, they had no reliable creator when things got tight, and it showed big time in December. To make matters worse, their starting center, Jakob was battling painful back issues that made life miserable inside the paint. With him limited, they lost their physical presence on both ends. No rim protection, no inside scoring, nothing. The December Raptors were unrecognizable. It was the same roster, but the results couldn't have been more different. Pretty soon, people around the league started whispering, was that magical November stretch just a lucky fluke? Were the Raptors collapsing back into mediocrity? The noise got loud and the pressure built up. This is the part of the NBA season where you see who's real and who's not. Because when your stars go down and the spotlight fades, that's when true character shows. Do you start pointing fingers? Do you ditch the system and play selfish hero ball trying to save the team alone? That's the test, and Toronto passed it. When January hit, the Raptors came back swinging, showing real heart and resilience. They went 9-4 that month, rediscovering their identity. And when RJ Barrett finally returned, everything clicked back into place. The ball movement came alive again, the defense tightened up, and the energy was back. Their defense, still elite, still mean, still ruthless. They even went into OKC again and took down the mighty Thunder on their home court. That win was the statement. They were officially back. Now riding a 4-game winning streak, Toronto's climbed all the way back to third in the Eastern Conference. And at the center of all this success, two stars everyone swore could never coexist, Scottie Barnes and Ingram. When Toronto traded for Ingram back in February 2025, fans were skeptical. The talk was loud. You already have Scottie Barnes, a playmaker who needs the ball to shine. Why bring in another guy like Ingram who also thrives with the ball in his hands? Everyone was asking, who's going to take a step back? Who's going to sacrifice for the team?
Well, surprise, the fit turned out amazing. Instead of clashing, these two have found a rhythm that's made Toronto one of the most balanced and dangerous squads in the league. Brandon Ingram has been exactly the steady scoring force the Raptors were desperate for. He's putting up a clean 21.5 points per game while shooting an impressive 46% from the field and 36% from deep. That's pure efficiency. He's dangerous at the rim, deadly from mid-range, and confident from three. But it's not just about the stats. What really stands out is his reliability. Ingram is suited up for 45 of Toronto's 47 games this season. No sitting out for load management, no disappearing for minor tweaks or rest days. He's showing up night after night, putting in work and setting the tone with consistency. That dependability has been priceless for a team that needed a stable veteran presence. What makes the fit between Ingram and the Raptors so smooth is that he doesn't need to dominate the ball to make an impact. He moves without it, cuts hard, and knocks down catch-and-shoot jumpers like clockwork. When defenses swarm Scottie Barnes, Ingram becomes the perfect safety valve, always ready to make a play when the offense stalls. When the shot clock's running low and the team needs a bucket, they trust him to deliver, and he does. He's evolved into a star who's not chasing numbers, but chasing wins. That growth and maturity are exactly why this roster feels so balanced right now. And right beside him is the true engine of the squad, Scottie Barnes. This season, Scottie's made the leap from promising young prospect to full-on leader, a man capable of carrying a franchise deep into the playoffs. Barnes leads the team in both steals and blocks. Think about that. That's insane for a guy who also runs the entire offense. Usually, players who handle that much on offense take a breather on defense, but not Scottie. He goes harder on that end than anyone else. He's become a two-way monster, the kind of player every team dreams of building around. And those clutch moments, they say everything. That monstrous block on Chet Holmgren in the final seconds against OKC, that was legendary. That quick tip out after a missed free throw to save the possession, that's pure winning instinct. Barnes does whatever it takes, guarding the opponent's best scorer, setting up teammates, making the extra pass, and protecting the rim like a beast. He's the heartbeat of the North, the energy, the voice, the anchor. And here's the secret sauce that makes Toronto scarier than teams built around just one or two stars. It's their depth. Emmanuel Quickley has been holding down the point guard spot at a high level, giving them a solid 17 points and over 6 assists per night. His playmaking keeps the ball moving, his shooting keeps defenses honest, and his pace keeps Toronto's offense alive even when the stars rest. This squad doesn't rely on one hero. They're winning as a unit. Emmanuel Quickley has turned into a legit third scoring option, someone who can flat out take over when he gets hot. We all saw it against OKC. When his jumper starts falling, it opens up the entire floor for everyone else. His shooting gives the Raptors the spacing they need to attack from all angles, making the offense unpredictable and dangerous. Then you've got Sandro Mamukelashvili, Mamu, coming off the bench like a spark plug. He's averaging around 11 points per game, but it's his energy that really shifts the vibe. The second he checks in, the intensity cranks up. He hustles, crashes the boards, and brings so much life that it sets the tone for the whole squad. And don't sleep on Jamal Sheed. This dude is a menace on defense. He's in every guard's face from the second they cross half court, poking at the ball, cutting off passing lanes, and making opposing point guards miserable all night long. His motor never stops running. Then there's Jacoby Walter. He's evolving into a lockdown defender right before everyone's eyes. Just rewind that OKC game and watch what he did to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He made an MVP candidate look uncomfortable, even lost at times. That's not easy to do. And of course, there's Grady Dick, always ready to pull up and drain a clutch three when Toronto needs a big bucket. Every team needs that reliable shooter who can calm the storm with one clean shot, and Grady's that guy. Even rookie Colin Murray-Boyles is chipping in solid numbers, putting up 7 points and 5 rebounds a night. Toronto's depth is straight up elite. They've got 10 players averaging at least 17 minutes per game, tied for the most in the entire NBA. That's not just depth, that's balance. Coach Rajakovic has an entire rotation he can trust, and when he makes substitutions, the energy doesn't drop one bit. He's constantly keeping fresh legs on the court, which means their defense stays vicious from tip-off to the final buzzer. That kind of depth is going to be a massive weapon once April and May roll around. When other teams start gasping for air and leaning too hard on their stars, Toronto will still be rolling 10 deep, defending like maniacs and pushing the pace. Let's be real. The Raptors aren't some cute, lucky underdog story. This team is for real. They're not a fluke, not a feel-good regular season run you'll forget about come playoff time. Nah, this squad is a legit threat to win the Eastern Conference. This Raptors squad is built different. They're built on tough, gritty defense. They're built on deep, flexible talent. And they're built on a European-style system that keeps working, even when the stars have an off night. Just look at the transformation. Last year, they were sitting at 30 and 52, totally overlooked, barely a headline anywhere. Nobody cared, nobody talked about them.
But now, they're walking into the loudest arenas in the league and walking out with wins over the NBA's best. They're not sneaking up on anyone. They belong at the top. Scottie Barnes has officially stepped into superstardom, and Brandon Ingram has finally found the perfect home for his game. Coach Rajakovic has molded this team into a unit with a real identity, one that wins with discipline, teamwork, and heart. They've already proven they can weather storms, injuries, losing streaks, tough stretches, and still bounce back stronger than before. And here's the part that should have every team in the East losing sleep. They're still getting better. This core has barely played one full season together, and their chemistry is just starting to click. The scary truth? They haven't even hit their ceiling yet.
These aren't the old Raptors teams that used to get pushed around. No way. These Raptors are hunters. They're fierce, focused, and coming for everything the league said they couldn't have. The rest of the East better wake up and take notice before it's too late. Now I've got to ask, what do you think? Are the Toronto Raptors the real deal, ready to make a serious finals run, or do they still need one more key piece to hit that elite level? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I actually read them all. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. There's more fire content and wild NBA stories coming your way. You don't want to miss what's next.